Hey Dreadlings, and welcome back. This is just a short get ready with me. I've already taken my septum out to avoid getting makeup on it, and it is safely on the floor next to me. I'm just tossing on this primer sample of the Pore Eclipse from Milk just to test it out because I'm interested in it. And then we're going in with these foundation samples from the People of Earth for their face bases. And I'm using a combination of 6 warm olive, 6 warm, and 5 neutral olive, which I think the 5 neutral olive made this a bit too light. But I overall do really like how my skin turned out with this, even though it took a little bit to build it up to the coverage that I was comfortable with. I wasn't looking for full mask. I just wanted to see what it could do. Then we're going in with this Tier concealer. I'm using like the little lipstick side of it just to gently go over my under eyes. Just for a little bit of extra coverage. I'm not using a whole lot. Don't need it. Then I'm going in with the Salt New York and Hannah Louise Poston collabs for the lip and cheeks and aniseed. And just using that to warm up my face without having to use bronzer. I don't like bronzer because I don't like how orange it makes me look. And this just adds a really nice flush to the face without it being orange because these are desaturated tones. And they're just really pretty. And I really enjoy using these kind of like on the lips, just off camera. And I'm going in with kind of a pretty heavy hand because I like blush draping and just really sculpting the face with like these blush products. It's always been a preference of mine. And then a little bit later you'll see that I'm going to go over my nose and a little bit of my chin and just really give my face some much needed color since the foundation took so much out. And then just going in with the Milk Pore Eclipse Translucent Setting Powder and Translucent Medium, and just go ahead and setting all of that cream and stuff down before we move on with like just the powder products. Well, more than just powder, I think I'd go in with another cream after this. But this is just a really nice setting powder that I really enjoy. It does a good job. And I think because I'm using the primer with it, or a primer that works well with it, I think my skin turned out really smooth. Then going in with the Lunatic Cosmetics Labs Pro Contour Palette Volume 1. And I was going to use those 2 grayer tones, but I ultimately went with this brown tone to do some light contouring of the face. I'm not really shaping it in any particular way. I'm just working with what I have because I do have I think I have prominent cheekbones, so it's just easier for me to follow that. And then just going along my jaw to try and close that distance. Sorry if I'm looking away so much. I was watching a video while I was doing my makeup. I was watching my lovely friend because I miss them very much. And then going in with Rituals of Diffuse, Interglow, Cream Pigment, and Desire, and using that as just my actual blush. I'm really loading the product up on the brush here because I do, again, like to go really heavy-handed. And this is just a really beautiful blush shade that I think it's the same thing with the Salt New York products. That desaturated tone, I think, works really well, at least for me, in my personal opinion. And just, it adds color without it, like, absolutely overpowering my face. So I'm just doing some more blush draping, and then I do take some and put it right on my under eye to really just kind of merge everything together to make it look a bit more cohesive and just not have the center of my face look so entirely washed out. Then using my trusty Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, I'm just going to tap that on before we jump into the eyeshadow. And I'm using the Nabla Cutie palette, which is their nude. And I'm going in with the lightest of the two nude shades in here, just to start adding shape and definition around my eyes. And this is the shade Latex Nude. It's very light, but it did do a pretty good job of letting me set that initial, get the initial shape down for where the rest of the product was going to go. Then we're going in with No Doubts and just deepening that shape work, just to give me a little bit more of a visual guideline to follow through with the faux liner that I'm going to having on later. Sorry, my words got jumbled. This was also really pretty. I think the formula on these mattes are really unique. Not in the sense like they're like new to the market, but I always like these cream to powder textures because they're just really nice to blend and to play with, in my personal opinion. And then going in with the Danessa Myricks Lightworks 5, my bad. I'm really drawn to the shade Powerful, which is like a black multi-chrome. It's obviously my favorite shade of the palette. And I'm just gonna take this Pat McGrath and like artistry wand just to give me a base to put that multi-chrome down on. I'm just gonna load up this fluffy brush with the product and just start applying it to the eye. I'm using a lot of patting motions and some swiping motions just to kind of get it really smooth. I know you can't see it here because my mirror is blocking the way, but this was just really pretty and easy to apply. I honestly don't know why I struggle so much trying to use this palette, but this year I'm going to work through trying to use what I have. And so far, I'm really enjoying working with this palette again. And then I'm going to take Protected, which is just like a sheer purple shade, and just tossing that on the inner corner of the eye just to give me a nice pop of color. I'm just taking this Pixie tight liner pencil and using it to toss black into my waterline and to like tight line my eyes and stuff later. And then going back into that Noble palette and using plastic, I'm going to start drawing on that faux liner by starting by going from my lower lid and flicking up to get the start of my wing shape. I've always kind of done it this way because it's a lot easier for me to make the lines a little bit straighter. And it's just a lot simpler to apply it with shadow first before you go in with a liquid line if you want it to be precise. And then just filling it in with plastique just to kind of finish the eyes off and give me an idea of how it's going to look. This doesn't always turn out perfect, but I'm planning on going in later and touching it up a bit with a different product. I'm going in with the Made by Mitchell color case and just using the black shade in there to kind of redefine the lines. I know you just see my big ass head, but I'm just taking that same brush I used for the black and the eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to take that and kind of crisp up the lines of the liner a little bit. I'm just going in with this Maybelline Sky High mascara in Cosmic Black just to darken up my lashes. I don't need a whole lot. It's not the main focus. And then going in with the Kaleido Space Age Prophecy highlighter. This is absolutely beautiful. I was not expecting it to go on the way that it did when I put it on. It's absolutely beautiful. I couldn't stop looking at myself when I was taking photos. Yeah, it's just beautiful, and I think it really just adds this glow that I haven't seen from a highlighter product in a long time. I'm just setting everything with this Morphe Jumbo Continuous Setting Mist. It's just something I have laying around that I'm trying to finish up. And then going in with the MAC lip pencil in Root for me. I'm just gonna give my lips, like shape my lips a little bit and just give me a barrier so my lipstick doesn't run. And then finishing up with Revlon Super Lustric Cream Lipstick in Vampire Love. And this is the finished look. It honestly feels really nice to be putting makeup on again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.